thank you participants. By looking at the numbers, I get goosebumps every day, more than 300, 400, nearly reaching 500. It's really a wonderful. So let us start our third day or third session. But before starting again, I have few riders, then we'll go to the slides. There is a lot of confusion when we discuss patents. The confusion raises because of the patent laws of different countries may vary. The meaning of a single word have multiple meanings at different places. So the context is important. Sometimes the context is important where we are referring which word. I'll start with one word called as patent priority date. One word called as patent priority date. Is it not? I know the meaning of priority. For example, I have filed my, submitted my file or submitted my patent application. Somebody else has submitted his patent application. Who gets the priority? Who gets the priority? Is it not? So I'll try to give an example of that. Let us say I am Rajesh Kulkarni and Rajesh Kulkarni has filed a patent in the patent office, but he has not filed the complete specification. He has filed the provisional specification. What is the date today? The date today is 8th May. On 8th May, let us say Rajesh Kulkarni submitted his file in the Indian Patent Office. This is a provisional filing. This is a provisional filing on some new design or some new algorithm, whatever he claims. Then let us say there is one person, for example, Dr. J. Ahmad Sultan or Nagbhushnam, Professor Nagbhushnam. He files his complete specification on 15th of May. Okay. So Rajesh Kulkarni submitted his file on 8th of May, but his submission is provisional filing. While Ahmad Sultan or Nagbhushnam sir submitted their complete specification on 15th. Is it not? So here, what the Indian Patent Office says that Rajesh Kulkarni holds the right of getting the patent. Let us say Nagbhushnam sir or Ahmad Sultan sir and Rajesh Kulkarni are having the same content in their file. Then Rajesh Kulkarni will be getting the priority. That is what is the meaning of date of filing. That is what is the meaning of priority date. That is what is the meaning of priority date. Is it not? Then there is one more thing, opposition. So who can oppose my patent? Again, let us say Madhavi madam or anybody, Gopi Shetty sir, they file their patent in an Indian Patent Office. Okay. So now who can oppose? Anybody in the world can oppose their file. Okay. So an NGO can oppose, a government organization can oppose, an individual can oppose, anybody can oppose. But when anybody can oppose, that also is important. If it is US, if it is USA, then after granting of the patent, the other person can oppose this patent saying that you cannot allocate patent for such a person because of this clauses or because of these rules or because of these sections, something like that. So such kind of opposition is called as post grant. Such kind of opposition is called as post grant. Okay. But Indian Patent Office or the Indian patent laws, what they allow is something called as pre-grant. What is the meaning of pre-grant? Any third party can oppose a patent filed by anybody before granting of the patent. That section 3 of Indian patent laws, section 3 of Indian patent laws allows such provision. So we have used two words. One word is pre-grant and the other one is post-grant. The meaning of post-grant is after granting of the patent, anybody can oppose that patent, a third party can oppose that patent. This is happening where? This is happening in a country like USA. What is the meaning of pre-grant? After filing of the patent, after publication of the patent, say, a third party can oppose the patent even before it is granted. So that is what is the meaning of pre-grant. I'll use one more word. We referred to two words till now. One word was priority date, patent priority date. The other word was pre-grant and post-grant. Why? Because we are starting with saying that there may be a lot of confusion whenever we refer a word, because it has some different meaning in at different context as well as at different patent offices. There is a word called as hearing. We hear the word hearing usually in court cases, is it not? Court में hearing है, मेरा court में hearing है. That's what is the word you use, is it not? Now, same is the case with the hearing of the patents. आपको patent office में जाके आपको hearing देना पड़ेगा. The hearing will be in the patent office. The scenario will be just like a court, is it not? You have to use specific words. As in a court, you use learner, judge. Similarly, you have to use learner, whatever, examiner, learner, prosecutor. Those words are there. And the hearing is to be attended by the patent agent or the one who has filed the patent. The hearing also is possible through video conference also, to save time and somebody's, otherwise it will be like courts usually in India, Tariq pe Tariq, Tariq. In Hindi they say, na, there is a famous dialogue, Tariq pe Tariq. So to avoid that Tariq pe Tariq, what they do is they also allow video conferencing hearing also. Now, when the hearing will be done, the hearing will be done. For that, you need to understand the sequence of patent filing, is it not? You will be filing your patent. After filing the patent will be published. After publishing the patent, you will be requesting for the examination. You will be requesting for the examination in two ways. One way is normal examination. The other one is expedited. The meaning of expedited is fast. You want faster examination. So after that, there will be patent examiners in the patent office or appointed by the patent office. The patent examiners appointed by the patent office are given rigorous training of not less than 2 years. After that only they'll be allotted the patent examiner post. And what is that rigorous training? The major rigorous training will be of how to do patent search. How to do patent search. The patent offices, at least in India, it has around nearly 182 databases. Nearly 182 databases. So from that 182 databases, the patent examiner will be doing exhaustive search of your patent. Then the patent examiner will be raising objections. What are the two objections I mentioned yesterday? Technical and substantial objections. The patent examiner will be raising the objections. So these objections you have to address within 6 months. These objections you have to address within 6 months. Okay. So even after that, if the examiner is not satisfied, then there will be a hearing. And the hearing will be at the patent office physically by attended by the patent agent or your attorney or yourself. Or if there is some difficulty, you can always attend through video conferencing also, that hearing will be done. But remember that the patent examiner or the Indian Patent Office is sitting there not to trouble you. So its wish is that every patent which is filed by the person, he has taken a lot of pains, lot of effort, energy, time, money, and so on. So it always wishes that somehow this guy should be given granted the patent. So remember that the patent office is there to help you. The patent examiners are there to help you. Only thing is you need to understand the techno-legal structure of the document, techno-legal structure of the document. And one of the important aspect of patent, whether the patent will be granted to you or not, is something called as FER. Your FER, if it is successful, then you will be granted the patent. What is FER? FER stands for First Examination Report. Your FER stands for First Examination Report. And what is First Examination Report? It is like the patent examiner has raised few objections, and you are addressing those objections by sending them some written document. So that written document has a techno-legal structure. So that answers to the queries raised by the patent examiners will decide the fate of your patent. Okay. Even after that, your scope for going for the hearing, then also you can face that. Remember that there is a prior art search done by the patent examiner, and there is a prior art search done by your patent agent. There is a subtle difference. The patent examiner has got all the resources available at his end, including the databases, paid databases all over the world. While the patent agent, let us say your patent agent has started just like our firm. Our firm is a startup. It has started just 2-3 months back, is it not? So we may not be having all the paid databases available. We may be using Google Scholar, we may be using Google Patent, we may be using Patent Lens, and few more other freely available databases to do the prior art search. And after doing the prior art search, you may be filing the patent. But the patent examiners at their disposal will be having more number of resources to do the prior art search, so that they can accurately raise the objections. So I am just, before starting our slides, we are trying to connect with few words. One word was patent priority date. The second word was pre-grant and post-grant. The third word is hearing. The fourth word is prior art search. The fifth word is first examination report. The fifth word is first examination report. Okay, so let us try to go to our slide. Again, before starting the session for today, there were many queries in the chat window. I tried to extract few of the queries which I felt I could easily answer today. One of them was, can we get the recording of this session? Could you please publish it in YouTube? Yes, I have the habit of publishing each of my guest sessions, yeah, in my YouTube, as well as I put all the contents on the slide share, as well as, don't worry, everything I am going to give to Madhavi madam so that she can always send to you. Then the second word which was referred was GI, geographical indicators. For geographical indicators, I had given the example of Darjeeling tea or Mysore silk, something like that. Somebody said Tirupati Laddu. Yeah, that also is a geographical indicator. So then there is one interesting question called as, if I am drafting my patent specification, in the patent specification, how many number of claims should be there? How many number of claims should be there to grant a patent? So at least one should be there. If there is not even one claim, how can the patent will be granted? The patent will be granted only on the claim. And remember that you are a claimant. And remember that we are discussing something called as IPR, intellectual property right. And remember the word property, and you are a claimant for the property. When you are claiming for the property, you claim every inch of the property. So every inch of the property indicates as many claims as possible, which you feel your intellectual property can generate. So are you able to connect with this? Somebody had repeatedly asked me how many number of claims should be there? At least one. But there are two suggestions from my side always. Don't go overboard, like claim as many as possible, but don't be even very putting very less patents also. It should be enough which your product can do. There was one more question related to computer applications. People ask me whether computer applications can be patented. And my justification always is because after coming of softwares and algorithms and computer applications, it led to disruption of all the patent laws, previous patent laws. So now they're incorporating solely all these things. They're checking how they can be incorporated and so on. But let us say you are in USA and you are filing a patent for a computer application. You can always do that under the utility patent, because utility patent, you know, it's a type of a patent, is it not? But let us say in Indian scenario, usually what is suggested is, even if it is an application, even if it is a software, even if it is an algorithm, always see to it that there is a hardware component added to it. My strong request is always see to it there is a strong architecture added to it. So then you can go for a computer application, computer software, computer algorithm, computer process. Any process also you can go for a patent. Now, there is very, very interesting question which is repeatedly asked by somebody: plant patents. Can plant patenting be done? So I had said that plant patent, as when in the case of USA, anything under the sky can be patented. Take anything and it can be patented. That is one aspect. A plant patent is possible. Yes, it is possible in USA. A plant patent is possible in India. Plant patent is not possible in India. Plant patent is not possible in India. Then what is possible in India? You can get a claim for a plant variety. And so you get an authority for your plant variety. Let us say you come out with a new plant variety by mixing one or two plants and you claim that this is a new plant which is giving good yield and so on, then the Ministry of Agriculture has a set of rules and guidelines which are totally different from the patent offices or the patent laws, from which you will be getting the rights for your plant variety. You will be getting the rights for your plant variety. There was one more question. There is a circuit design. Okay, there is a circuit design. Can that be patented? I said yes. Okay, again the context is US. Okay, but if it is just a design, then again it is yes. But if it in Indian context, you have to bring it under semiconductor layout chips variety. You have to bring it under semiconductor layout chips variety. Give me a minute. There is a question regarding license or patent. And if you remember my first session, I have said that patent sale is a huge business, is it not? And you can earn millions in that. So this licensing a patent is such type, like you can sell your patent or you can sell claims individually also. Suppose you have 10 claims, one claim to one claim to other, that also is possible. Then there is a question related to digital signatures. Okay, do you remember digital signatures? When the word digital signatures came, when we are saying that who can file the patent in the Indian Patent Office, okay? Either the individual can file or the patent agent can file. What is best? Patent agent has the digital signature and all the technical know-how, that is best. But no, I don't want anybody's support. I want to go on my own. Yes, you can do it. For that, what I have to do, I have to create a digital signature and then I have to submit my forms, patent forms, form number 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 13, 18, whatever the required number of forms, you will be submitting the online on the portal ipindia.nic.in. So how to create the digital signature? Is there any amount needed to be paid? Okay, I'll not go into detail, but you refer this website www.emudra.com. So here you will be getting some help. So if you want to have your own digital signature, refer this website www.emudra.com. So I think I covered this plant patent and remaining two are repeated. So here in this slide, what is referred? What is the meaning of a license or patent and how to create a digital signature? Okay, as usual, I'll start with patent prosecution. Again, I'll be repeating this. All the contents of the slides are being developed by Team IP Adventure LLP, including me and the co-founders Pallavi Kadam and Shalaka Tole. Okay, take a minute just to go through all the bulleted points. Okay, I think everybody now knows the journey or a life cycle of a patent. Okay, and tentatively now you will also come to know the amount of time it requires to get granted your patent. Let us start with filing the application. Okay, assume that you have filed the provisional application. After filing the provisional application, what you have to do? Within 12 months, you have to file the complete specification. Let us say after 6 months or after 3 months, you have filed the complete specification. After filing the complete specification application, your patent application will be published. When it will be published? After 18 months of filing the complete specification. When it will be published? After 18 months of filing the patent application. So if you want it earlier, within 45 days, what you will be doing? You will be filling up that form which is for publication. And earlier publication is not written on that, it is just a publication. After that, what happens? Pre-grant opposition. What is the meaning of pre-grant opposition? Means you have filed a patent. Let us say Prem Kumar has filed a patent. Now Rajesh Kulkarni is opposing that patent. And how it is he is opposing? He is reaching out to the patent office and claiming that Prem Kumar should not be given this patent because of these following reasons under section this, under law this. So what Rajesh Kulkarni is doing against the Prem Kumar, he is doing the pre-grant opposition. What is the meaning of pre-grant opposition? Even before the patent is granted, that patent can be opposed by others. It is possible in which country? It is possible in India. Is it possible in America? It is not possible America presently. Okay, in America post grant opposition will be there. Now, so again I'll repeat, first file provisional application, then file complete application, or you can directly go to complete application, then the application will be published. After that, pre-grant oppositions if any, then examination and generation of FER. What is the meaning of FER? First examination report. Who gives the first examination report? The patent examiners. Patent examiners are appointed by patent office. They are experts, they are trained people. Okay. Now they'll be raising objections. So you have to answer those objections within 6 months. You have to answer the objections within 6 months. If the answers are not satisfied, then the hearing at the patent office will happen. After that, grant of the patent will happen. Now, if anybody asks me, how much time is required, sir, to publish my patent? For him, this is the answer. Tentatively understand how much time is required for each of the step and try to reduce that. And there are ways, there are other forms also where you can expedite your, like publication, you can expedite, first examination, you can expedite. So there are many steps which you can expedite and try to get the grant. And one interesting thing, always remember that if there is a girl or a woman in your patent application, that is highly beneficial. That is highly beneficial. The entire laws are to involve women faculty or women researchers in this journey. So always see to it that if there is a woman contributor, then it's better. Just go through this for a minute. Okay, who can file? Anybody can file. How it is to be filed? At the patent office, either online or physically. How the payment is to be made? Again online. But for that, what is required? Digital signature. For digital signature, you can refer eMudra. Okay. Filing date importance, I just gave you an example of provisional filing and complete filing. That is what is the priority. That is what is the priority. Okay. What are the details? You have to provide all the forms, form numbers I mentioned. Timelines. Now you know the rough timelines like 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. So like that, you know the rough timeline, and you know that if I do it properly, I may be granted my patent within 3 years. Again, go through this. Okay. When it is published? After 18 months. I want it within 45 days. Yes, I can do it by early publication. Okay. Early publication, you know the benefit of that. So all the priorities. So what are the privileges? The priority privileges you'll be getting. Okay, just go through this for a minute. Okay, here which word we are referring? Pre-grant opposition. Okay, and who can apply pre-grant opposition? Anybody in the world, a third party, any NGO, anybody can apply for this. Okay, what is the timeline for applying pre-grant opposition? Even before, suppose tomorrow your the patent office is going to grant the patent to somebody, even one day before also I can apply for pre-grant opposition. Okay, what happens after pre-grant opposition? So the litigation goes on till one side has to win. the argument of one side has to be 1. Take a minute to go through this. Right. So what is happening here? You have filed a patent in the patent office. The examination of that application is happening. Okay. But for that, you have to file a request for examination. Unless and until you file a request for examination, the patent examiner will not examine your file. So it means it depends totally on you. If you forget to file the request for examination, the patent will be abandoned. Oh, so it is your, the onus is on you. The onus is on you to file the request. Okay. So who will examine? I already told you the patent examiners appointed by the patent office will examine. Okay. So after examining, the patent examiners will be submitting the first examination report. They'll be generating the first examination. It is like a query. They'll be raising many queries and you have to respond to the FER. You have to respond to the FER. If they are satisfied, then it's okay. What is the timeline? After FER is raised, within 6 months, you have to answer the queries. Within 6 months, you have to answer the queries. Okay, take a minute for this. Hopefully you remember now the meaning of hearing. When the hearing will be happening, let us say the first examination report is generated by the patent examiner. After that, you will be sending the responses. Let us say there is still a dispute, then the hearing will be there at the patent office or through video conference. Okay. So either physically, how it is done means either physically or through video conference. Why this step? Because there is a dispute during the FER. So when the patent will be granted, after FER is successful and there is no hearing, or after hearing is not a compulsory step. Hearing may happen or may not happen. When the hearing step will come, if only FER responses are not proper, then usually what happens is it is like during the hearing session, who will be there during the hearing session? The patent examiner who examined your patent, as well as the main officer of the patent. They will be sitting there and usually what they say, okay, how many claims are there? Sir, we have 26 claims. Okay, these are the 14 claims for which you can get a claim. We'll be granting for that. Accordingly, some adjustment will be done. So patent will be granted either post FER successful or post hearing successful. So what is the meaning of post grant opposition? As I already told you, in US, you cannot oppose a patent until and unless it is granted. Once it is granted within 1 year or 2 years, I don't remember properly, but if I think it is within 1 year, you have to raise the objections. Okay, that is what is the meaning of post grant opposition. Who? Anybody. What is the difference between pre-grant and post grant? You know it now. Take a minute. Okay, let us go for this. First, you have filed the provisional application. After filing the provisional application, within 12 months, you are filing the complete specification. Okay, then your patent will be published. After 18 months, the patent will be published. But if you want it prior, within 45 days, it is possible. You will be filing a request for examination. Okay, when you will be filing the request for examination? Within 48 months from the date of filing the patent application. Okay, so if you forget it, then the patent will be abandoned. So after that, the examiner will be giving the FER, and within 6 months you have to respond to that. Within 6 months you have to respond to that. Okay, so after the grant of the patent during its entire tenure, so once you get the patent, every year you have to pay some fees as a renewal fees. Okay, and you have to tell them that this is a working, the prototype is still working and I'm using it. Okay, statement of working also you have to give. So these were the types of patents we yesterday we mentioned. I'll repeat again the types of patent application in India: ordinary patent application, provisional patent application, divisional patent application, conventional patent application, PCT patent application, and patent of addition. We'll try to understand again each one of them. Take a minute to understand this provisional application. Okay, so provisional application, underline this word. You want to claim priority. You want to claim priority. Why? Because Indian Patent Office follows this. What is that? First to file system. Whosoever files first, he has the right. Whosoever files first, he has the right. Is it not? So provisional specification to be followed by complete specification within 12 months. Okay. Again, if you fail to do that, the application will be abandoned. What we are discussing the types of patents application in India. First one was provisional. The second one is complete or ordinary application. This you have seen the example by going through the form 2. So while looking at various forms, you had also seen something called as divisional application. Okay. So the meaning of divisional application is you highlight this word. Okay. If an applicant claims more than one invention, if an applicant claims more than one invention, the applicant on his own or to meet official objection may divide the application. So he's dividing his application and file 2 or more applications as applicable for each of the inventions. Okay. This is the conventional application. Somebody raised a very interesting question in the chat window. So again, go through this. Conventional application is for priority. Okay, to claim priority, and you know the meaning of literal meaning of priority now. Okay, but now priority over what? Of another application filed in one or more of the convention countries. Okay? So you want to have priority in convention countries also. So then you will be going for conventional application. Okay, so let us say an application is filed in a convention country. That is the basic application. Now the applicant has to file in India within 12 months. Okay, within 12 months of filing the basic application. The next type of patent application is PC.
Are really missing in patenting their IPR intellectual property. Okay, where I think this particular program, I think it will put light on this and enlighten so many of these academicians. I think over response, I think to some countries they invited, I think it is not less than 100.
It's 500, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes. 500. Yes, sir.
Madam, great. Really, it's a very big gathering. I think this is the sort what you call like honoring response for the experts like Dr. Kulkarni garu. So I think every one of us we need this kind of exposure and thorough learning about this IPR, especially the second part that. Prosecution also. I think I am also very much eager to really learn something more about the prosecution in this. And with legal issues, I think that we being as engineering fraternity, we are very much less aware about this. So I think Dr. Kulkarni will definitely enlighten us. There, as far as patents are concerned, I think we are proud to say that many of our college professors have really published their patents. But thing is that I think what are all the other possibilities like copyrights?
Yes.
And how else they can protect their products which they are developing?
Yes.
And not only the kind of applications and patent applications, but also how to take the product rights and all.
Yes.
And copyrights on their
Yes.
other book publications.
Yes.
Or chapter publications. As many areas as possible, we are eager to learn from you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting, consenting this, and really rendering your services for this. We are very glad to have you, sir. I welcome you on behalf of CMR Engineering
Thank
College,
you.
Hyderabad, and our IT department.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I wish a great session for all the participants. And with this, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So we are proud to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madhavi, madam.
Good morning, everyone.
yeah.
Actually, we had a very huge number. First of all, myself, Madhavi Pingili, head of the Information Technology Department, CMI Engineering College, Hyderabad. We welcome all the participants. Once again, our today's speaker. Thank you for such a motivating speech. So today's our speaker, he is Mr. Rajesh Kulkarni. He is professor and director of Srimati Indira Gandhi College of Engineering, Mumbai, Maharashtra. So really, I'm very glad to tell that we had many registrations yesterday, right from yesterday, and we are getting many calls also. So we got more than 1,000 registrations. I'm very thank you for all being registered here, and we got all the participants.
No, I'm talking. I'm talking.
From the other states. From India, we got the participants, including there are many principals.
I am listening.
Many,
Madhavi madam is talking.
People, dynamic people are included in our 5-day. So once again, I welcome to all the participants.
Yes.
5-day FDP, IPR awareness, and by this, I hand over the session to our today's speaker, Mr. Rajesh.
That recording has come. Recording has come. I'll check once.
Thank you, Madhavi, madam. Thank you, principal, sir. Thank you, CMR group. And thank you, participants. We are overwhelmed by the number of participants who registered.
Okay. Yeah, there was some recording. I'm extremely sorry. I don't know how it happened. I'll tell everybody sorry from my side. I'll start. Okay. I don't know. Extremely sorry, guys. There was some interjection. Maybe the recording has overlapped, but I'll try to continue. Okay. Is it okay for all of you?
Sorry, all the participants. There was some mislink. Sorry. Sir,
Okay.
you can continue the session.
Yeah. This is the next application type, that is the PCT application. So PCT stands for Patent Cooperation Treaty. Okay. So there may be few countries which had agreed upon this Patent Cooperation Treaty. So with this, there is patent protection internationally for the inventor. Let us say you file your application under PCT application. So by filing that, you are internationally protecting your patent, whichever are the countries following this PCT. So currently there are 148 and more countries following this PCT. So it means, simple meaning of this is, if you have filed your patent and it is a PCT application type, it means your patent is protected in 148 countries which are following this PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty. While looking at form number 1, 2, 3, you might have seen somewhere patent of addition. Okay. The meaning of patent of addition is, let us say you have a patent application, but you also have some improvement or some modification done of the invention. Okay. So, but for that you don't want to have a patent. So such kind of thing will be called a patent of addition. Such kind of application will be called as patent of addition. Okay. So there is a small video. You just go through this.
When he was a child, Dr. Gary Michelson's grandmother suffered from a spinal disease that destroyed her ability to sense hot and cold, made it difficult to walk, and caused unremitting severe low back pain.
I can remember being a little boy and being over at my grandmother's house, and she's making macaroni. And she's got her hand on the stove, and I smell this horrible smell. And I look over, and her hand's on fire, and she's just leaning on the stove talking to me.
Michelson was determined to help his grandmother and others, a passion that's made him the most prolific spinal surgery inventor of all time. However, while in medical school in the late 1970s, a professor told him not to specialize in back surgery.
He said, back patients don't get better.
Spinal surgery was highly invasive and left many patients permanently disabled.
So I said to myself, this can't be right.
In the early 1980s, Dr. Michelson began his own spinal surgery practice at a Los Angeles area hospital from where he'd arrive home thinking about better ways to help his patients.
I'd be eating dinner and working on my ideas. If it was small, I'd cut these things or make these things on my kitchen table. If it was big and needed machinery, I'd go out in my garage.
Michelson saw that the key to better outcomes was minimally invasive surgery, particularly for a surgeon with NBA-sized hands. The systems that he invented for minimally invasive spinal fusion surgery can reduce a traumatic multi-hour operation into an outpatient procedure.
One day, come in, you go out. People walk out on their own. That's crazy. Before this, people were in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Today, his more than 250 spinal surgery-related patents form a core part of a more than $5 billion a year industry, and Michelson technology guides surgeons worldwide.
I invented comprehensive systems that had at least the implants, the instruments, and the new operations that all work together. And they work together to achieve that goal of allowing a tremendously high rate of reproducibility despite who the surgeon was.
And every year, Dr. Michelson's inventions help more than 700,000 Americans walk tall and pain-free.
Okay, that's it, an innovation. I also appeal everybody, 5 minutes. I also appeal everybody to go through this topic titled gatenotes.com regarding innovation. I wanted to have a walkthrough today, but you take this link and try to go through, and we'll again try to connect with this in the next session. Okay, so I'll take another 5 minutes today. After that, Madhavi madam will conduct the poll because I have a hard stop at 11:25. So we'll be taking this few aspects of GATT, W2 and TRIPS. But before that, I'll directly jump to one example. We'll cover this in the next session, few of the slides which I am taking forward. Okay, just take a minute to read it. Okay, so you know that there is a word called as reverse engineering, and you know there is a word called as Indian pharma industry. Reverse engineering, and there is a word called as Indian pharma industry. So before TRIPS, before this was agreed upon, there were huge fights because there was a lot of confusion regarding products, regarding processes, regarding IP rights, because there was no clarity. There were trade exchanges and there were laws related to trades, but not much of clarity regarding the IP. But with the TRIPS, what happened was IP and trade was brought together, and the fights were reduced a lot. What is the meaning of reverse engineering here is, let us say, I can see some Radhika madam here. Radhika madam, let us say in 1980, has come out with a design, some design she did. and it took 100 steps to do that design. It took, let us say, 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees to use that design. And after say 20-25 years, some other madam like Harita madam has come out with the same idea, but with lesser number of cost and with lesser number of steps, less hazardous, more output, less steps. Then the Indian patent, the 1970s Indian Patent Act allowed the new person called Harita to go for that. Are you able to connect with this word reverse engineering? Let us say an old patent which costs more, which takes more steps, which is more hazardous, is replaced by a new patent which costs less, gives more output and less hazardous. Such reverse engineering was possible. So that was used highly by the pharmaceutical industry to give drugs to Indian patients at lesser cost. That's how the Indian pharma industry grew a lot. I'll go for this mailbox also at a later stage, because I want to use this word. Please read the title as well as the statements. Okay, so you are reading a word called as sui generis. So this is a Latin word. What is the meaning of sui generis Latin word? The meaning is that tailor-made for our context. For example, for Indian scenario, the Indian Patent Act has tailor-made for itself. Okay, so as per the requirement of the country, as per the requirement of the country. So that is what is the sui generis. I'll try to give the example meaning of the sui generis. Let us say we all go to college, 11th and 12th. We are studying 11th and 12th, inter first year and second year. So we go to college, attend the classes, attend the practicals whole day. Then in the evening, we go to classes and come back, study and so on. This is how is the scenario. But what is sui generis here? Few colleges and classes make a pact, like if you take the admission in this college and in this class, you need not attend the college. You can directly attend the classes. You go to the college only for examinations. So this is a sui generis arrangement. This is a tailor-made arrangement for suitability of everybody. Similarly, the Indian Patent Act, for suitability of the Indian context of the Indian scenario, it made a lot of changes. It made a lot of changes. For example, compulsory licensing it allowed. Compulsory licensing allowed. What is the best example of compulsory licensing? I'll give the example here. Bayer. Let us say Bayer is a US-based pharma company. Bayer is a US-based pharma company, and it has come with a medicine for cancer. It has come with a intestine cancer medicine, and the cost of that will be coming to somewhere around 7 lakhs and 8 lakhs. 7 lakhs and 8 lakhs, and it is selling that in India. And we know the Indian scenario. We need cheaper drugs looking at the population and their class and their status. So what happened was, the Indian companies like Cipla and some Hyderabad-based company, maybe Natco, they requested the US pharma to give the compulsory license to them. To give the compulsory license to them, they'll be paying some money to the US giant, and in turn they'll be selling the drug at a cheaper rate to Indian patients. But that was not accepted by the US company. Then Cipla and Natco went to Indian Patent Office, and there were a lot of, it went first to district court, then it went to high court, then it went to Supreme Court. Then there was some lawyer, I think Nalini Singh, who fought for this Natco, and ultimately they won, and the US giant had to give the first compulsory license to the Indian company. Cipla lost that case, but Natco won, I think. And Natco, in the sense, the Indian company, Indian drug pharma company, won. And then accordingly, they sold the drug at a very cheaper rate of 7,000, 8,000. So which was costing 6-7 lakhs. Now it was costing 6 to 7,000. So with this, today I want to stop because I have a hard stop. Madhavi madam, I request you to take over. If you have a few questions.
Yes, sir. Sir, I asked in chat that to post the queries so that you can go through the queries, sir, and the participants can get the queries. So once again, I am requesting all the participants to post the queries in the chat box. Sir will go through it and sir will answer definitely. And now we are going to have a poll. So just I am launching the poll within 2 seconds. Yes, once again, I repeat, the participants can post the queries related session, this session in the chat. Now I have enabled the chat. So first everyone answer to the poll, then we can go for the attendance link. So I request all the participants to go for the poll. Just the poll has been launched. You can see the poll in your screen. We have launched the poll. So yes, we are getting the answer, sir. Yes, people are filling it fast. Yes, we got only 246 out of 473. We have 473 participants. 474 participants we have. Only 276 have polled. So kindly everyone poll it. We are going to consider this polling and also the attendance. We are going to send the attendance link also. I request all the participants to give your poll. We got 308 polls. Once we have more left over. Some of the participants have not given the poll. Yes. I'm going to end the poll. So we are going to consider the attendance link and also the poll for various reasons. Kindly everyone, those who have not given the poll. Yes, still we have to get, still some of the participants, they have not given. So we have 350 out of 470. We have 350 participants have given their poll. Once again, I repeat, any queries related to the session, you can drop in the chat box. Sir will go through and he will answer all the queries. Related session, you can drop in the chat box. Yes, we got 360. I'm going to end the poll soon. Kindly don't go for any excuses. I request all the participants to give your poll. Still 100 participants they need to give. Out of 475, we got 373. Still few participants are left over with their poll. I request the leftover participants to kindly give their poll. Yes, here we are getting where is the link, where is the link. Yes, we have not enabled the link. If the poll part is finished, then we'll enable the link, attendance link. Don't worry, we are going to give some extra time also. We'll be waiting for the attendance. 10 to 15 minutes, the link will be activating after the poll. Yes, more few attendees, they have not given their poll. Out of 475, we got 388. Yes, I'm going to end the poll. Within 2 minutes, I'm going to end the poll. We have 82% of the participants have voted. Last 2 minutes so that we can end the poll. Still few participants are giving their vote. Yes, I request our coordinator Kavita ma'am to share the attendance link in the chat box. I request all the participants to give the attendance. Still the poll is open. Those who have not given their vote, you can give, and also at the same time parallelly you can give the feedback also. Now the feedback link will be active. I request our coordinator Kavita ma'am to send the feedback, I mean the attendance link in the chat box. Yes, it's displayed. The attendance link is displayed in the chat box. The attendance link is displayed in the chat box. Yes, attendance link is working, sir. Kindly you go through it. Attendance link is working. Some of the participants they have said it's done. So it's working, sir. Attendance link is working. It's working. Everyone kindly go to the attendance link. It's working. We have checked it properly. Then only we have given. It's working. Yes. So we have few more participants for poll to vote the poll. If it is done, I will show the result also. The polling result also will be shared to all the participants. Polling link, those who are using the laptops, you can see on the screen, no problem. Those who are using the laptop, those who are using the mobile phone, you can see at the bottom that return to poll. You can see at the bottom of your mobile phone. The same session, you can see the poll, those who are using the mobile phones. Polling link will not be shared. Everyone can, I hope everyone can see the link, I mean the polling question on your screen. So kindly go through it. The polling, there is no polling link. And once again, I request all the participants to fill the attendance also. Still few more, 90% of the participants have voted for polling. Yes, the same kind of polling we'll be having tomorrow also. In tomorrow's session, we'll be having the polling and also the attendance. And on the final day, on the 5th day, we'll be having a feedback link. The feedback link will be shared on the 5th day along with the assessment. So both should be, both are compulsory. As we said, the brochure itself, all the participants will be considered for their e-certificate based on their attendance, based on their assessments. So now I am ending the poll. We have 93% of people have given the poll. Now I am ending the poll. The final alert to all the participants, those who have not voted. I'm ending the poll. You can first go for poll, then you can go for attendance. We'll provide some time for attendance. Twenty more participants need to poll. 95% of them have voted. Yes, someone has asking that cannot able to see the poll on my mobile screen. Yes, you can see. Kindly check it. You can see the poll option in your mobile phone. The bottom, you can see. You'll be having a poll option. You'll be getting a return to poll at the bottom of your mobile phone. You can see. Yes, 98% of the participants have given their votes. Yes, 99%. Yes, the votes are 100%. So I have ended the poll. You can see the result of the poll on your screen. Yes, okay. As everyone can see the results of the polling on the screen. So for option A, we got 25% copyright. The term intellectual property rights covers copyright 25%, trademarks 11%, trade secrets 4%, all of the above 74%. So I am stopping the sharing of polls. Thank you all participants for your valuable polls. And now I request those who have not given their attendance, kindly fill the attendance link